أن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه تسليما كثيرا أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. There were a group of people from a tribe who made hijrah to Al-Medina in order to be close to Al-Mustafa and to the Islamic community. Salawatullahi wassalamuhu alayhi. One of the people from that group, every time people would call him, they would say, Ya Abul Hakam, Ya Abul Hakam, come over here, Abul Hakam. His name was Hani ibn Yazid. So anytime someone wanted his attention, they wouldn't call him Abu Ahmed, Abu Abdullah. They said, Ya Abul Hakam, come here, which means the judge, the rule. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, clearly not knowing the ilm al-ghayb, only knowing what Allah revealed to him, he asked the man, why do the people call you Abul Hakam? He said, Ya Rasulullah, that is because my people, where we come from, anytime they have a dispute, they have a niza, ikhtilaf, anytime there's a problem between them, they all agree to come and they listen to my judgment. And I render a judgment that both sides are always pleased with. And showing his approval of that, he says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ma ahsana hadha. This is a really good thing. He said, this is a really good thing. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْحَكَمُ وَإِلَيْهِ الْحُكُمُ. But Allah is the true judge, and to him returns all affairs for judgment. فَمَا اخْتَلَفْتُمْ فِيهِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ فَحُكْمُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ. Allah is the judge, the lawgiver, the one who provides a judgment that no one is allowed to turn away from. It's haram. And to him returns all of the judgments. He asked the man, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, do you have any children? He said, yes. Who are they? He only named his sons. He said, I have Shurayh, I have Abdullah, and I also have Shurayh, Abdullah, and I have Muslim. He said, which one of them is the eldest? He said, Shurayh. He said, Idhan anta Abu Shurayh. He said, then your kunya is Abu Shurayh. A kunya for the reverts who don't know, for non-Arabs who don't know, for the Arabs who have become, Europeans and they forgot. Having a kunya was a very important aspect of the identity of a man in Islam. And before Islam, to be given a kunya, like Abu Qasim was his kunya, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is an honor that a man has his eldest son. His eldest son is not like his eldest daughter. His eldest son is not like any of the other children. And what if he doesn't have any sons? He just has two daughters. Is that an aid? No, Allah, he takes care of those two girls, gets them married off, they do the right thing, there'll be a hijab for him from the adab of Jahannam. But there's nothing like having a son. So when the people say, Mr. Abu, you could call me Mr. Abu, but if you want me to call you your honor judge, you call me Abu Usama. That's what I'm proud of. That's my name. So it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything. No taklifa to get rewards by just giving yourself a kunya. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to name little kids like this little boy Yusuf. We used to give him kunyas. Our mother Aisha didn't have any children at all, no children. But her kunya was Abdullah. So who's the oldest one? The oldest one is Shurayh. Although Abdullah, as the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inna ahab al-asma'i lillahi Abdullah wa Abdurrahman. Allah loves the name Abdullah more than Shurayh. But because Shireen was the eldest, he said, that's your kunya. Point that we want to take from this hadith is, as we mentioned many times from this minbar, the best one in the community is the one who brings benefit to the other people. So the one who makes the adhan is not like the one who doesn't make the adhan. The one who cleans up the masjid is not like the one who doesn't clean up the masjid. Your family, you do the most for them, so you get a lot of rewards as it relates to them. The best of you is the one who brings benefit to others. This particular man, in his environment, in his society, he brought a lot of benefit. And that is, he was a just and fair ruler, a judger, a person who judges. Anytime you have someone who is fair and just and he's ruling amongst you, your life and the quality of life is going to be blessed. All you have to do is look at any of our community members who had a father who was Hakim and who was Adil. Not the father who was ignorant. He's ignorant and he wasn't fair and just. Anybody, Muslim or non-Muslim, if you had a father and that man knew how to judge between you and your siblings and people, that's something you will always remember your father for. So because this man was serving the community, the Prophet ﷺ praised what he did, especially in what he was serving them in, and that is keeping ikhtilaf down. وَلَا يَزَالُونَ مُخْتَلِفِينَ إِلَّا مَنْ رَحِمَكَ إِلَّا مَنْ رَحِمَ رَبُّكَ بِذَلِكَ خَلَقَهُم. The people will not cease to have ikhtilaf between themselves. They will always have it. That's what Allah created them for. We're not going to agree with each other on everything. So if there's not a way of calming that ikhtilaf down, the society is going to be a problem. The family is going to be a problem. We have to have people amongst us who they know what they're doing and they can sit and they can judge. And they demand and command the respect of the people involved in the situation. And they're competent. Without his presence, there's a problem. Now, I want to tell you people that all of you are judges. Don't let this khutbah go over your head and you start thinking about Fulan and Alan. This khutbah is for you, my man. It's for you. This khutbah is for everybody because all of you are judges. Everybody here is a judge. When you sit down and you watch that program, Piers Morgan, and he's interviewing this guy or that guy, and you listen to him and you don't listen to him, you're judging. Are you one of those people who, because the people involved, he's a Muslim, so no matter what I hear, I'm going to support the Muslim? No matter what I hear, like these people, no matter what's said, no matter what's done, they're going to support Israel, no matter what. Even if it's a contradiction on themselves. They deal with the Palestinians in one way, and they deal with the Ukrainians in another way. White people versus people of color. Muslims versus Christians. This is how it is. Even if it conflicts and they contradict, but they don't have any shyness. They just do it. But Islam told us in our religion, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, kunu qawwamina lillah, shuhada'an bil qist. ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. Oh, you who believe, stand up, each and every one of you, as a fair, just ruler who's going to give a judgment in front of Allah, even if it's against yourselves. And do not allow a person's problems that you have with him, don't allow that problem to cause you to be unfair. That's what Islam said about ruling in our religion, being a judge. Islam said a lot. Islam said everybody here is a judge. How are you a judge, Abdullah? You watch that program and you take what he said, you reject what he says. One day you'll get called to go to the court where the so-called Your Honor is. And you have to listen to that man's story or that lady's story. And you have to render a judgment. And there are 8 or 9 other people who are there. And you cannot allow those people to confuse you. And you cannot allow yourself to be swayed by emotions of the lies of the prosecution or the lies of the lawyer, the defense lawyer. You can't look at the clothes that he's wearing, his color, his religion. You can't look at the big tears. You have to listen to the situation. You're a judge, Yahi. You're going to be a judge. Why? Because your sister got divorced. Your sister's on the brink of divorce. Your brother's going to get divorced. Your daughter got divorced. So someone's about to get divorced, and Allah has made you a judge. As he mentioned in the Quran, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ شِقَاقَ بَيْنِهِمَا فَابْعَثُوا حَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهِ وَحَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهَا إِنْ يُرِيدَا إِصْلَاحًا يُوَفِّقِ اللَّهُ بَيْنَهُمَا إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلِيمًا خَبِيرًا. If the family members are afraid that the husband and the wife, they're going to get divorced. This thing is going south and they're going to get divorced. The father's afraid, the other father, the mother, everybody's afraid. Allah said, bring a judge from his side to represent him. Bring a judge from her side to represent her. If these two judges want Islam, Allah, inshallah, will make that happen for them. Verily, Allah Azza wa Jal is Alim and he is Khabir. You're a judge, ya akhi. So what do you do when you find yourself in this issue? And I'm telling you this right now. The vast majority of people are not qualified, competent judges. It's always better to step back and let someone else do the job, because most people are not the people for the job. When we hear about someone's divorce or pending divorce, right away we start judging and we don't even know what's going on. And for that reason, we mentioned sallallahu alaihi wasallam, al-qudat thalatha, wahidun fil jannah wa qadiyan fil nar. The judges are three types. There's not a fourth judge. 2/3 of them in the hellfire. The judges are three. One of those judges will go to the Jannah, and two of them will go to the hellfire. The one that goes to the Jannah is the man who has knowledge about what's going on, and he judges based upon the knowledge. He'll go to Jannah. He knows the ruling, he knows what's happening, and he judges based upon the knowledge. The other two who go to the hellfire is a man who has knowledge. He has knowledge, but he doesn't judge with his knowledge. He knows very well that his daughter is wrong. He knows that. His sister is wrong. His auntie is wrong. His family is wrong. He knows that. But he acts as if he doesn't know it. And he judges and rules against the other person because it's a different madhab, because it's a different belly, because this is his cousin. So he judges for that individual like that. So he goes to the hellfire. The third one is the person who is a judge and he doesn't have any knowledge. He doesn't know what he's doing. She doesn't know what she's doing. It can be in a court of law. It could be here in the masjid. It could be our affairs with our family members. She's the last person who we should seek her opinion because we know she's extremely emotional. She doesn't listen. She's motivated by her hawa, her desires. So the vast majority of people shouldn't judge. قال المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم من جعل قاضيا بين الناس فكأنما ذبح بغير سكين. Anyone who has been made to be a judge between the people, it is as if he has been slaughtered with a knife. That's for the one who doesn't know what he's doing. But the one who knows what he's doing, he's competent, qualified, he knows what the religion said, then you get a lot of rewards. إذا اجتهد حاكم وأصاب فله أجران وإن أخطأ فله أجر واحد. If a judge gets involved and he knows what he's doing, he looks at the situation, he hears it, he makes ijtihad to find out what's the truth. If he gets it right, he'll get 2 rewards because he's special. He's doing something special. He's helping the community. He's getting a big khidmah. He's calming the situation down. Islam wants just that. Islam wants al-silm was salam for the people. Islam doesn't want us to be in a constant state, a perpetual state of uneasiness and instability. Islam wants calmness in our lives, and he helped to provide that. So when he gets it right, 2 rewards. He gets it wrong, he'll get 1 reward still. If you get it wrong, you don't get any rewards. I get it wrong, I don't get any rewards. But the hakim, the scholar, the one who is a qadi, if he does it right, he'll get a lot of rewards. If he doesn't do it right, it's as if he's been slaughtered without a knife. So don't be a judge, Ya Abdullah. Say, it's not for me, it's for somebody else. Sami. There are some things I want to mention here, Juani, about judgment. And this khutbah is for a particular person who finds himself in this situation. You are a judge. You like it, you hate it, you are a judge, and you're being watched. And it's not about saving face. It is not about protecting your izzah. This is about taking care of the truth and preserving the rights of people, even if they're not from your family members and they don't share your blood. One of the things you cannot do as a judge is what the Prophet told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, La yaqdi ar-rajul wa huwa ghadban. No one should render a judgment while he's angry. For me to even have to explain why, something will be wrong with that. You shouldn't even talk when you're angry. You shouldn't divorce when you're angry. You shouldn't do things when you're angry. You shouldn't teach when you're angry, because you've lost your equilibrium. Al-Islam wants you at that moment to gather yourself together and get your tawazun back and get yourself together. Because when you get angry, depending upon how angry you get, you can become majnoon. How is it that Al-Islam doesn't even allow a man to divorce his wife when he's extremely angry, but is going to allow him to judge people, between people, when he's angry? You're judging about people's blood, judging about people's monies, judging about people's honor, about private parts, akramakumullah. You can't be angry. So once the father hears about something has happened, you have to suspend that anger before you can get involved. You were too close up to the problem. And that's why the ayat said, bring the judge from his side, bring the judge from her side, because they're independent. They're not, some people, they're so close, they can't see the forest through the trees. They're so close. They don't want to hear. They can't see. Bring an independent person who has nothing to do with the problem for the most part. He's going to listen, he's just going to listen for the truth. So don't be angry. Second thing he mentioned, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, la yafti bayna ithnain حتى تسمع من الثاني كما سمعت من الأول إذا فعلت ذلك فقد تبين لك القضاء. This is really important in our community, ikhwan. Do not judge between two people until you heard from the second person as you heard from the first person. If you heard from the second person and the first person, the judgment becomes clear what to do. Some of us, we get involved, and as soon as we get involved, we hear one side of the story, and this is not permissible in the deen of Islam. Even the Nabi of Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, used to make it his duty to hear all of the sides of the story. He wouldn't judge, regardless of who was involved. One man was accused of committing zina. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam told Ali, go and find him and bring him to me. When Ali went and they found the man in the water, he said to the man, come out, Rasulullah wants you, come. He said, for what? What happened? He said, you're being accused of this and that. He said, I didn't do anything like that. I'm not coming. Ali said, if you don't come out of that water, I'm going to come in there, I'm going to grab you, I drag you to the Nabi, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The man came out of the water, and the hadith said, he didn't even have a private part, akramakumullah, to even do anything. That's how he was created. How could he have done anything? But you leave it to the people. If they don't like him, he did it. He's guilty. Depending on the one who told him the news, he's guilty. We're sensationalists. People, we just hear one side of the story. They say in Al-Islam, in the jurisprudence of Al-Islam, al-hukm ala shay far'an tasawwuri. In order for you to render a verdict about something, you have to be able to visualize and understand what that thing is. If you can't do that, how are you going to give a judgment? One side of the story doesn't constitute the story. إِن جَاءَكُمْ فَاسِقٌ بِنَبَإٍ فَتَبَيَّنُوا. If some evil person comes to you with some news, you have to ascertain as to its validity. Is it real? Did it really happen like that? Before you go and you accuse people. If people were to be given according to their mere claims, then people would claim the blood, the lives, the monies of other people. But the burden of proof is upon the mudda'i, the one who's making a claim. You have to prove that thing. And I'm the one who's being accused. All he has to do is say, Wallahi, it didn't happen. He doesn't have to prove his innocence. He just said, Wallahi, it didn't happen. You have to bring all of that proof. This point, Ikhwani, is a very important point in our lives. Stop believing things about people when you don't even know the half of it. You just have one side of the story, and that side of the story may be compromised. Look what happened in the Quran in Surah Sad, with one of the tremendous Nabis of Islam, who his story is teaching us about judging. And that's Dawood and his son Sulaiman. Throughout the Quran, their stories are talking about and teaching us lessons how to judge. Everything about them in the Quran and the Sunnah. How to judge, how to be a mujahid. Allah mentioned in the Quran, دخلوا على داود ففزع منهم قالوا لا تخاف خصمان بغى بعضنا على بعض فاحكم بيننا بالحق. And remember when the disputants entered into the private chamber of Dawood, tremendous Nabi of Islam. Nobody is supposed to be in his minbar where he prays at in his house. Nobody. He had control over almost everything. Anybody who comes in is a problem. They said to him, don't be afraid. We are two disputants. We're disputants. One of us has oppressed the other one. And then one of them began to talk. He said, this one is my brother. He's my brother. He has 99 sheep, and I only have one. And he orders me to hand over my one sheep, and he talks aggressive, and he overpowers me, and he wants me to give him my one sheep, and he has 99. Dawood looked at the situation, and he judged. Just like that. He judged. لَقَدْ ظَلَمَكَ بِسُؤَالِ نَعْجَتِكَ إِلَى النَّعَاجِبِ وَإِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْخُلَطَاءِ لَيَبْغِي بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَقَلِيلٌ مَا هُمْ. That's true. But right after that, Dawood made sajda. He asked Allah to forgive him. Dawood rendered the judgment. He said to that man, you know, when human beings come together and they start doing business, most of them oppress each other, except those who believe and do righteous deeds. And they're only a few. And that's true. But that wasn't the right ruling. وَظَنَّ دَاوُودَ أَنَّمَا فَتَنَّاهُ. Dawood realized that we tried it. And he fell down and he made istighfar and asked Allah to forgive him. What did Dawood do for him to ask Allah to forgive him and to make sajda? What did he do or what did he not do? He looked at this situation and didn't hear from the other man's side of the story. The one who wound up with one sheep. Yeah, that man, he had 99. And he wants him to give him his one. What's the story behind it? There are a million possibilities. Maybe both of them started off with 100 sheep. Maybe. Allahu A'lam. Maybe. And he's just asking him, give me. They both started off with 100. And that man is responsible for losing all 99 of his. And he's also responsible for him losing one of the other guys. He said, give it in retribution. Give it back. It's a million possibilities. You don't know until you find out what's the story. So this is whether you're dealing with divorce or whether you're dealing with the honor of people. When you hear about people and people talk about other people, their honor, don't believe what people say. Would you like that to be the case for you? People tell other people about you and they say things about you and they don't even know you and you just believe that? Don't listen to what people have to say at all about people until you hear both sides of the story. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ونسأل الله تعالى التوفيق والسداد. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi amma ba'd. Concerning the issue, ikhwati fillah, ummat al-Islam, about judging in this religion, obviously it goes without saying that we have to judge based upon the truth. And when the truth comes to the Muslim, he sees the truth as his property. The Nabi of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam was made to be a judge between two men, and one of them was his relative, Ibn Zubayr. Az-Zubayr ibn Awam, one of the 10 people promised Jannah, and the other was a Muslim. And they came to the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they told Rasulullah about the issue, that on their land, the land has to go through Zubayr's land first, and then automatically it has to hit the other man's land because of the flow, the slant. There's nothing anybody could do about it. The man wanted equal access to the water. It's a no-win situation for him. It's just the way the earth is. He came and said, Ya Rasulullah, this is the situation. I want the equal access to the water. He says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Zubair, let the water come through, but don't hold it back. Just let it go to your neighbor. The man got upset and said, Ya Rasulullah, did you give that judgment because he's your cousin? He's your relative? And then the Prophet became very angry with that because he's fair and he's just. If he's not fair and just, then nobody in the community can be fair and just. He said, Ya Zubair, hold the water back until you get your fill. And then after you get it filled and you satisfied, then you let it go to him. Allah mentioned in terms of judging in the Quran what we do, what we don't. وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا أَنْ يَكُونَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَرَةُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِمْ. It is not befitting for the believing man and believing woman if Allah or his messenger make a judgment about something for them to have any say-so in that issue. They have no choice. So we judge based upon the truth. And when we judge and the truth comes to us, then the truth is more beloved to us than our own selves, or that's how it's supposed to be. So we're supposed to base with the truth. وَأَنَحْكُمُوا بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعْ أَهْوَاءَهُم. Ya Muhammad, judge between them with that and by that which Allah has revealed, and don't follow their desires. Don't follow your desires. Don't follow the desires of the prevailing society. Don't try to be politically correct when that politically correct opinion is not what Allah wants from us. So we have to judge by the truth. Allah mentioned 3 ayahs of the Quran showing that if you render a judgment in the wrong way in some of these things, you can even go outside of the religion of Islam. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. Whoever doesn't judge based upon what Allah has revealed, then those people are fasiqun, they're evildoers. So they can still be Muslims, but they're evildoers. They're racist, they're ignorant, they're evildoers. And whoever doesn't judge by what Allah revealed, another ayat said, then those people are the oppressors. They could be Muslims and non-Muslims. They're oppressive. They're usurping the rights of other people. And finally, whoever doesn't judge by what Allah has revealed, those people are the disbelievers. So it's possible a person can judge in an arena and he expels himself from the religion of Islam. But the ayat alone by itself doesn't mean that. In concluding, Ummah al-Islam, if you have to find yourself going to the court of law, feel lies with you. Tell the people, it's not for me. I can't do it. I'm not a good one. I'm not the person for the job. But it may be that you can possibly be the best person there. Because the Muslim is the one who is going to listen to try to find out what's the truth. The Muslim is not the one who listens to play the game or to have the game played on him. The game of the people in the judiciary system. The man knows he's guilty and he's a murderer and he's a liar and his lawyer knows that as well, but they play the game. The Muslim is there, he listens and he renders judgment. Judging between your children, judging between your relatives, judging between the people who you work with and you work for. All of that is from the ibadat of Islam. May Allah help us to be people who give judgments and we render those judgments based upon the truth, and that He causes the truth to be more beloved to us than anything else. Aqim as-salah. Yarhamukumullah.